So the idea is, we don't want to be in this place where we're years down the road and we've never followed through on the dreams and the desires for the good life that we always wanted, whether it be financially, relational, and we've let these things that were negative happen.
I'm gonna fight like a champ, not a wannabe. Live like the dream is all that I can see.
Hey, hello.
Hi.
How are you? We are so glad you're here. Welcome. Today we're going to be talking about the issue of overcoming the fear of the unknowns, or maybe another name for it would be dealing with the what ifs.
Yep.
So take it away.
Yeah. So, we've watched a couple movies lately and it just about kids, and it just reminded me like when I was growing up and I was totally, absolutely convinced there was a monster under my bed.
Yeah.
I think a lot of kids have those thoughts, or they think it lives in the closet or something like that. But in my case, I was thinking it was hiding under the bed. And so what I did is I wanted to make sure I had no arms or legs or anything that could be grabbed hanging over the edge of the bed.
Yeah.
And man, it's like the more I thought about it, it was dark. It was hot. I was laying there completely frozen solid, and I just was, I would just be paralyzed. I know. I mean, it's so crazy. And I can even remember like I could hear my heart, or at least I thought I could.
Right.
I could hear my heart, but I definitely could feel it. I could feel my heart like pounding in my ears.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, it's so crazy. So the way our house was set up, my bedroom was as far away as you could get from my parents' room. So in my mind, it might as well have been a mile or in another state. I mean, it was so far away. And I would lay there because my goal was to get from my bedroom to their bedroom without being trapped by, pulled down, caught by a monster.
Right.
And so I would muster up enough courage to like stand up on the bed, And I had a pretty small room, so it was really easy to get enough air, get a good jump, and get enough air to jump from the bed to the doorway.
Okay.
So anyway, I did the big leap and I jumped and I made it. I cannot lie. I was like, I don't know if I'm going to make it this time, but I made it. Yeah. And I took that leap, and in my mind, it felt like a leap for my life.
Yeah. Right.
Now, the thing is, fear didn't leave. It was there. I mean, I didn't have any proof of the monster under the bed or anything. Fear was still there. But despite being petrified, I actually chose to make a move. Yeah. And that leap, thinking about it now, it ended up teaching me something about life that I didn't know back then, but I know now that even though nothing ever happened and the fear felt real, it wasn't real. And there's so many things we face in life that they feel real to us, but it's all the fear that we have about the unknown. Yeah. And it's funny even talking about it. It's almost like I can feel my ears getting hot. I mean, I can feel that heat in my ears. It just goes to show you how powerful the imagination is. And in this case, it was an unrealistic fear of a monster hiding under the bed. And it was that fear of the unknown, of the what ifs. Yeah. Yeah. So here, okay. So we're going down that road. So down the memory lane. Yeah.
Here's my scary story as a kid. So I was probably around 7 or 8. I was way into building models back then. I got my mom to buy me this like really cool looking mummy model.
My brother used to build models.
Yeah. Uh-huh. And so, and it was probably like this tall, it had a base on it. It looked like it was like, hanging on some hill, walking toward me. And anyway, it had like it had plastic, like glow in the dark, like wrappings that were like hanging off his arm and, down off his neck or whatever. Mm-hmm. And at night, it's sitting on my desk and it's glowing, right? And I am freaking out. I'm like, this is freaking me out. So either I put clothes on it, I think, or maybe I ended up sticking it in the closet because like I'm done. As a kid, I'm freaking out. Okay. So then a great on imagination on the other side of things.
Yeah, because imagination can be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can be good. Yeah.
How many of you remember PF Flyers? Okay, so they're back out now. But when we were kids, they were huge.
Yeah.
And there was this kid, he was in the commercial and he's like jumping from these boulders, landing on them and then running. It was like cool. It was like out in the desert or something. I don't know. They had this contest and you could write in and like you want a trip with your family to like the Southwest or something.
That's
I don't
cool.
know.
Yeah.
But so I filled that out, of course. I don't think I sent more than maybe 1 or 5. I can't remember. But, I was like, I'm going to win. I could totally imagine. I was the kid in the commercial, I was the kid jumping off the boulders.
Right.
And it was just awesome. Here's the deal though. Now we're adults, and we don't have the mummy sitting on the desk, and we don't have the monster under the bed, hiding out. But it's like, they're lurking in our minds, they're hiding out in our circumstances. They're crouching in the shadows of our unanswered questions, and they sit in our imaginations and they show up as fears in the everyday, the regular day to day.
Except they're not blue and have hairy arms.
No, well, I guess they could.
Yeah,
your boss maybe.
Yeah,
he's blue and has hairy arms. I don't know. But the everydays with our regular jobs are like, well, what if I lose my job? Like, okay, so I'm in a phone center. I pray for people. And the number of calls I get about people saying, I've been talked about bad at my job, and they're worried about losing their job, or they're worried like, I've tried 3 times to get this promotion and it still hasn't happened. What if it doesn't happen? So there's what ifs on the negative and there's what ifs on the positive, meaning like something might not happen that I really want, or something bad might happen that I don't want, and it literally can be anything, it can be like, what if I never get out from underneath this like insurmountable Mount Everest of personal debt, What if I get sick? Or what if I get a diagnosis of something I wasn't expecting, and then there's the what ifs of relationships, divorce. What if my kids just go crazy wayward, and then, and it's weird. It comes in the form of negative self-talk. You know what I mean?
It does.
It's like it shows up like regret. Oh, I wish I'd done. What if I had done something different? And then I wouldn't be living with this. Or the what ifs of shame. What if that had never happened? Then I wouldn't be dealing with and unworthiness. What if I lose everything? The shame I'm going to experience. What if I'm alone the rest of my life? Can I deal with that loneliness? I can't deal. What if it's too late? What if I never heal? On and on. What if I never fulfill my dream? Yeah. Which is one we've been tempted to believe. Yeah. So you get the picture and you've got your own list. I know you do. Yeah. We could say a lot of things about the list, the stuff we've listed here. I mean, we have friends, we have family members. There's somebody I know who, okay, this is crazy. She got time off to take a break. And for her, it was, and it had been a long time. And she took the time off and kind of came back and we saw her and it was like, she didn't have that great of a time. And it was because she realized she had been in go mode constantly, everything, every minute almost scheduled. And she just pushed down a lot of stuff that had happened in her life of recent years. And so for her, that time was like almost more painful. Yeah. And that's not cool. So the idea is, we don't want to be in this place where we're years down the road and we've never followed through on the dreams and the desires for the good life that we've always wanted, whether it be financially, relationally, and we've let these things that were negative happen and it's kept us bound up in fear that what if this is all I ever know? Yeah,
I think it keeps you paralyzed. Yeah. When you're paralyzed, you don't want to take the chance because you're afraid that it could go bad.
Right. I can't go through that again.
Right. A lot of it is experience, and it's hard to get over experiences that have been negative.
Oh, Jesus help us.
Yeah. So, so the big $10,000 question is, so what do you do?
Mm-hmm.
How do you face the unknowns in life? I mean, that's the question. And, Lang and I are believers. And so we go to faith. We go to faith and we connect to something bigger than ourselves, and that's God.
Yeah.
And so the deal is, though, there is no promise that things are going to always go great all the time. There are going to be challenges that come, and
Jesus said it.
Yes, and thankfully we can go to.
But He's overcome the world.
Right. We can go to tons of stories that tell the story of overcomers.
Yes.
So you can look at, there are also stories outside the Bible as well of people who have overcome some amazingly bad situations and somehow came out of it. So connecting to something bigger than yourself, which is God, and faith is a key. It is a key. And we're not without hope. And there are tons of promises about overcoming fear. We won't,
in the Bible.
We'll share a few here, but you can get on any Bible app or whatever and look it up, and there'll be just lists of it and everything. But I wanted to share one thing with you that's from 2 Timothy 1:7, and it's from the Amplified Version. And I kind of like the way that it kind of describes this, but it says, "For God didn't give us a spirit of timidity, of cowardice, of craven and cringing and fawning fear, but He has given us a spirit of power, of love, of calm, well-balanced mind, discipline, and self-control." So
so good.
I know there's so much in there. And
thank you.
So Lord, if you're finding yourself paralyzed by fear because of the what ifs, this is when you need to run as fast as you can to the one who will give you the strength, the courage, and the hope that you need to take a leap, to step out and not let the fear paralyze you and keep you stuck.
That's Jesus.
He's the one who has conquered every fear, every monster, every what if, fill in the blank of, the scary stuff that anybody could ever face. And here's the thing, it doesn't mean that you're not going to be afraid. What it does mean is that you can choose to not be ruled by the fear.
Yes.
That's the thing.
Well, it's like you jumping off the bed.
Yeah.
You were willing to jump
even
when you were afraid.
Yeah. And sometimes we do. I mean, let's face it, in life, sometimes you have to do stuff afraid.
Yeah.
You just have to kind of go, okay, I'm gonna go for it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, so we want to kind of put this invitation out to you guys, trust the conqueror, Jesus.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And so here's an idea. What if we, we're talking to ourselves, what if we flip the script on what if? What if we said, because rather than what if we said even if?
Right.
Mm-hmm. For example, even if I fail, God is still with me.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
I will always conquer.
Yeah.
Even if it looks like I failed, I haven't, because God works all things together for my good,
Right.
Psalm 37, 23, and 24 says this, the steps of a man are ordered by the Lord who takes delight in his journey.
Yep.
Though he falls, he will not be overwhelmed, for the Lord is holding his hand. Oh, thank you, Lord.
That's so good.
Psalm 145:14. The Lord upholds all who fall and lifts up all who are bowed down. All. Mm-hmm. Are you in all? You're in all.
Yep.
We're in all. Proverbs 24:14. A righteous man may fall 7 times, but he gets back up again.
That's a good one.
What's the, I've fallen, but I can't get up. No, this is not us. This is, I've fallen, but I got back up.
Yeah.
So, rather than the what if, and here's another one. So a second approach. What if we said, rather than what if, kind of obviously representing all the negative possibilities, what if we started saying, well, like, what if my dreams took off?
Right. That's the thing. It is easy to be negative.
It is.
It is easy to be afraid.
Yeah.
That's like easy. It's hard
Yeah.
to turn it and say, you know what? What if my dream comes to pass? I mean, what would that look like? How
am I even ready for that?
Yeah.
Because that asks some questions that makes you start going, wait a second, I'm going to start planning on that.
Oh, yeah.
What if that relationship is restored? What if I do get that promotion at my job, you know? And what we do is we connect to a picture. What does that look like in my heart? Because you can see yourself, you know, you can see yourself with that person that you love being restored to that relationship. You can see yourself in that promotion that you would have at your job, and start connecting that picture in your heart and begin to think on those things. Don't talk about the what if it doesn't work.
Yeah.
What if you started believing, well, what if it does?
Yeah.
You know, that's God's will. His heart is for us to prosper, to succeed, to be in health, all of those things. I pray that you would prosper. 3 John 1, I believe it is, and 2. I pray that you would prosper and be in health even as your soul prospers.
Right.
John 16:33. This says, I've told you all this so that trusting me, you will be unshakable and assured, deeply at peace. So good. Romans 8:37 says, no, in all these things, we are more than conquerors through him who loved us. So, you know, the deal is, like you just said, the unknowns, the fear is always going to be a part of life.
Yeah, there's no way to get away from it.
But guess what? We as children of God, as followers of Jesus, we never face these things alone.
That's right. He
conquered all of the what ifs. And so we can know we can conquer them in him.
That's right. So we want to encourage you to hit the button, the subscribe button, and so you can be notified of when we are getting ready to post another video again. And we have social media, Facebook, we have Instagram, it's blissblissmusic. You can also sign up, and I hope that you will. We do have an email that we send out, and we would love for you to go to our website. It's www.blissbliss.com. You can, there's a way on that website you can actually contact us through support. And there's tons of stuff on there. There's tons of stuff about our music. We have our music on sale there. There's other places you can
promotions. We run all sorts of specials.
There's other places you can buy it as well. But we just want to invite you.
It would help us be able to be in touch with you more. You know, obviously,
right? We talk about a lot of things in our email that
more personally.
That we're not going to necessarily talk too much about in the videos here. But our main reason for wanting you to join us is that we are wanting to connect with like-minded people who are on the journey of life, of going after their dreams. We want to encourage you that it's never too late. You're never too old. Second chances are always available. It's not too late. And really, we want to help champion the spirit of the underdog. So we invite you to connect with us on all those different ways that you can here on our social media pages or through our email. So we invite you to come join us.
Amen. We look forward to seeing you again soon. Have a good one.